From the Homestead Studios in Santa Clarita, California, this is a Headache Soul production. Welcome to Just the Tip-Sters, America's favorite true crime podcast, and I'm your host, Melissa Morgan. With me today is my handsome and talented co-host, Joshua the Vampire Bevan.
The vampire?
Yes, because you suck all the lifeblood out of me.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, that's...
Emotional vampire.
Yes.
Energy vampire.
Yeah, I'm an energy vampire, for sure.
I'm going to get you a cape. A really cute cape to wear. No, you're not a vampire. What was I thinking about vampires recently? I was thinking about them. This episode is sponsored by Graveline Tours. And if you're in the LA area, go to graveline.rip and add Tipster40 in the promo code area, and you'll get 40% off of any tour. And we are very excited about our excursion in late August.
Yes.
Manson's Murderous Spree.
Oh my gosh, I'm so stoked.
Me too. I can't wait. It's going to be fantastic. I want to thank the listeners in Australia for kicking it up a notch. You're showing up in big numbers, and I appreciate it. I was a little concerned because June was really slow. Like I couldn't figure it out. And then July has been great.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Good.
So I was like,
July's been great all over or just in Australia? Okay.
Oh, no. All over. Yeah. The numbers are back up to where they were. Because June, I was like, did something happen? I really just wanted to blame Joshua, but I couldn't.
You could blame me.
I want to, but I can't.
I don't know how I could do better, but
no, I don't either. But
I don't know how I could do worse either.
Point taken.
I'm just sitting in the chair.
Yeah. So this is like a totally weird piece of, oh, stop it. You do more than sit in your chair. I'm not going to fucking tell you how great you are. Go fuck off. Thank you to our, no.
Tell me I'm pretty.
No, I won't. Thank you to our I introduce you as my handsome and talented co-host. That's all you get. Fuck off. Thank you to our newest YouTube subscriber, Avalon Apples. Your handle is both mystic and organic, and I love that about you. Avalon Apples. It feels like the mists of Avalon, and then, power to the people who pick fruit. It's a great handle. So this is the weird piece of like news that Stitcher has asked us all to put out on our podcast. If you stream on Stitcher, you probably already know this. But the Stitcher app and website, including Stitcher Premium, is going to end operations on August 29th of 2023. So listeners will no longer be able to access any podcast on the app. Most Stitcher website pages will be redirected to their sister app, which I didn't know this, Pandora. I didn't know Stitcher and Pandora
were. I didn't either until you sent me that the other day.
So no new listener data after August 29th will populate any of the hosting services. This says, what does this mean for your listeners? On August 29th, the app may be open, but listeners will no longer be able to access their show lists, downloads, preferences, or listening history. The app will not be available to download from the app stores. Most show pages on Stitcher.com website will be directed to Pandora. Listeners will be able to download their show list and re-upload it to other apps, including Spotify and Apple, though they can manually follow each show in their apps. You can let them know that the instructions to do this are located in the FAQs link in the website, Stitcher.com. So, it's one of the oldest podcast platforms out there.
No, absolutely.
I feel like a lot of people who have Android phones listen on Stitcher.
Okay.
I don't know a lot of people. I think most people with iPhones just listen on Apple Podcasts.
On Apple Podcasts,
but some people are, more discerning and have a different. I just would do it for the ease.
Sure.
But yeah, a lot of people listen on, iHeartRadio or, Spotify or Pandora. But it was just kind of shocking to me.
Right.
That they're just going belly up. And I don't know why, because, everything you read, every release like once a month about, analytics say that podcasting is more popular now than ever and making more revenue.
Sure. And I wonder how much of it is them getting kind of swallowed up by their larger,
by Pandora?
Yeah. Like, is it a compression thing business wise?
That could be it, but they make it sound like, we're giving you notice because we're.
Kids are going.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It didn't. I would feel like if they were just being combined with Pandora as opposed to having separate entities, they would be a little more like exuberant about it.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, that's true.
There's no exuberance. It's just like, here's an announcement. Please read this to your listeners and sayonara.
Hmm.
I know it's sort of weird. I'm guessing more things will come out. So this story was sent to us by the amazing Suzanne, and I've seen several television shows about it, and Joshua might know about it. Do you know where the area Bradbury is?
Bradbury?
Yeah.
No.
I think it's a really small area because I'm fairly sure I covered another case. I don't know if I want to say the San Gabriel Valley. It's in LA County.
Okay.
It's a fancy area. I'm thinking like close to maybe La Cañada.
Oh, okay.
I'll have to look at it again on a map, but I was like, Bradbury. I think it's a very small community, but like kind of upscale.
Okay.
And I remember that because I saw it on like a real estate show.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause I was like, where's to me, the name Bradbury sounds like it would be like out in the Antelope Valley or something,
Okay.
but it's not that far away. Cause I've never heard, I don't hear a lot about it, but maybe you don't hear a lot about it cause it's small. So are you familiar with Mickey Thompson, the race car driver?
Only just hearing his name
right now.
as a driver. What happened? Did something new happen?
Oh no.
Okay.
He was murdered.
Okay.
He and his wife murdered. Spoiler alert.
Oh.
And
jump to the end.
And I didn't actually know. I'm trying to think of another way to say this without sounding like an a-hole. This story has lots of twists and turns, and I didn't mean to make it sound like a racing analogy, but it has more twists and turns in it than I could have predicted. So when I saw a television show about it, and I don't remember which one, it was very straightforward.
Okay.
Mickey Thompson, successful race car driver, and his wife, Trudy, they've been together since high school, and they were just, like stuck together. You couldn't separate them. They loved each other very, very much. And one of the things I think that drew Mickey to Trudy in high school was that she was taking like an automotive repair class, and she would get under a car with the guys and emerge with grease all over her. And he was like, I guess I found the person.
Perfect.
And they just never parted. They were just, it's a little heartbreaking when you hear a neighbor's report of what was said, because this is the kind of love you don't hear about that often. So they were very successful. She was his partner right by his side. He, successful race car driver, had a whole litany of, tires, Mickey Thompson motor oil. I mean, he had,
like a big chain of stores.
Yes.
He had video games.
Yep.
One of my favorite stand-up arcade games. Yeah. Yep.
Mickey Thompson Media. Or Mickey Thompson Entertainment.
Nice.
Mickey Thompson Entertainment Group. That was it. Yeah. He had he was a cottage industry.
Cool.
And loved his life. And unfortunately, maybe trusted someone who was at one point his best friend and business partner.
Uh-oh.
So Michael Goodwin was a promoter, and he, had a big name in the industry, partially because he rode the coattails of Mickey. But he was good at what he did. He was a good promoter. Mickey had, set and broken land speed records in like the salt flats of Utah. He drove anything that had wheels, from like funny cars to dragsters to off-road racing to, he was just in anything that had wheels, and Michael Goodwin was his partner. So what's theorized is that he had talked Mickey into a business deal that did not pan out.
Okay.
Mickey and Trudy sue him, and they get a judgment for $700,000.
Oh.
That is how much he owed Mickey.
Oh boy. So there's going to be an exact price tag on someone's life here.
Golly jeepers.
Geez.
Oh, it's when I say twists and turns, Joshua, I'm not kidding. It's more bizarre. And there's one piece of information you have to dig for and dig for and dig for. And somebody found it. And I saw it and read it and didn't believe it. And then I went back and dug and dug and dug. And it's true.
Oh, boy.
It's true. And it's heartbreaking, but it wasn't intentional, but it's true. So March 16th of 1988, early in the morning, Mickey and Trudy are leaving their garage to head into the office. They were just like workaholics, and they worked together. They played together. They were just together all the time. So they leave their garage doors open. Trudy gets into an SUV, I guess, to back it out of the driveway. Mickey is closer to the garage door. And neighbors report, honest to God, the neighbors were priceless in this case, priceless, but it takes somebody later on to come forward with better information to actually get Michael Goodwin. And it isn't, Michael Goodwin was the mastermind. He didn't do it, but you'll hear why. It's pretty compelling evidence that he orchestrated it. The neighbors hear, "Please don't hurt my baby." Mickey had to watch them kill Trudy.
Oh, God.
And then they killed him. And he hung on a little longer than Trudy, but by the time police got there, they were both dead. The neighbors heard, more than one neighbor says, "I heard Mickey scream, 'Please don't hurt my baby.'"
Man.
So the murderers, get this, 2 dark-skinned African-American men wearing hoodies escape on bicycles. Super weird, very, descriptive and odd. More than one neighbor looked out the window and described the same scene without having talked to each other first.
Okay.
So police are looking around for who in the hell would want to kill Mickey Thompson. There's no one. He's beloved.
Right.
You may not always agree with him, but you love him, and then, oh, wait a minute. Michael Goodwin lost a lawsuit who was once his best friend and race promoter for $700,000. And, oh, what happened right after Mickey and Trudy are murdered? He liquidates $400,000 and buys a yacht and sails to the Caribbean.
Oh, geez.
So he's on the run for, let's see, I guess it's about 12 years. 2001, he is extradited back to the U.S.
Okay.
So it takes a while. And this is the part that was so strange to me. I had to dig and dig to find out why. Why was he in jail in Orange County when they were murdered in LA County? Why was an Orange County district attorney prosecuting him?
Do you have an answer?
I do.
Okay.
And it's crazy.
That seems odd.
I think it's complete. I don't get, and it worked against them because they said he came up with, we know he didn't pull a trigger. He came up with this plan while living in his house in Laguna Beach.
Because that's where he was living. That's where they're going to hold it. Wow.
So completely weird.
Huh.
So completely weird. So it's 2004. He has spent not quite 3 years behind bars. He appeals the ruling that Orange County prosecutors, tried his case. And, he's like, this is ridiculous. I've changed. I don't know why you would say I've changed if you haven't done anything wrong. I've changed, and hopefully the grace of God will look down on me. It should never have been filed in Orange County. LA County is where it was investigated and where the murders supposedly happened. My name will forever be tied to this case. It's ruined my life. And he has a defense attorney who's actually really worth her weight in gold. And I dislike her greatly, but she did a great job for him. But he's like, yeah, Orange County has no evidence against me. They don't have the right person. And the DA is like, oh, we have the right guy. Oh, we have the right guy. But in 2004, it's overturned. He's immediately rearrested by Los Angeles County.
Oh, okay.
So he did something you really don't hear about. He beat the Orange County District Attorney's Office.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess they had a reason for what they did. Like, why would you take it to an Orange County court? Maybe they thought it would get through faster, or the DA was more of a badass, or I don't know. To me, it's like he was living in Laguna Beach and he's the mastermind. He didn't pull the trigger in LA County. So let's charge him in Orange County because that's where he formulated the plan.
Huh.
And it backfired.
I guess.
I mean, they kept him in jail for, 28 months, but, I didn't understand. I'm guessing they had a reason.
Maybe hoping for Orange County judges being more
I didn't think about the judges. That's a great point.
Than the LA County.
That's a great point.
But they must have gotten the wrong judge apparently
They did.
on the appeal.
Yep. Overturned it.
Well,
so he's immediately arrested, in LA County. So he's just the entire time he's maintaining his evidence. It's like, I don't know his evidence, his innocence. The entire time he's maintaining his innocence. And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. The day that Mickey and Trudy were shot, my whole life was turned upside down. It's, I am forever going to be tied to this case. Perhaps if you hadn't liquidated $400,000 of the $700,000 you owed Mickey and Trudy and bought a yacht and went to the Caribbean, I don't know. Maybe people wouldn't have, wouldn't think there's anything weird. Oh, wait. A couple of neighbors pick you out of a lineup as somebody who is sitting in a car watching Mickey and Trudy Thompson's house through binoculars for weeks. Was it just because you missed your friends that won a lawsuit against you and you just I want to see him again? I just want to see him.
I miss him so bad.
Yeah, I miss him. I just want to look at him. Binoculars are good for that.
Yeah.
I want to see their smiles and yeah.
Yeah.
You don't like that theory, Joshua?
I mean, it is a theory.
Yeah, it is. I'm not working for the defense, just so you know. I am not working for the defense. So I think he's kind of, I get it. He was a race promoter, but I think he was kind of a scammy shyster his whole life.
Okay.
So he gets arrested the second time in LA County, just the second that they overturn the Orange County conviction or indictment. And he is like talking to reporters. Yeah, you know what? I am writing a book and I'm working on a movie deal from prison. Well, good for you. Good for you, Michael Goodwin. Do you understand you're not the story?
I'm imagining he does not.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what his, when I say he had a good defense attorney, I mean it. She said something. So he seems to be the antithesis of Mickey. Mickey Thompson was loved by people. They're like, hey, he could be a hard ass. He was good to work for and hard to work for. But if you gained his respect, you had it for life. He was that guy. Nobody liked Michael Goodwin. Yeah. Nobody liked Michael Goodwin. It was like he was, cheesy and a shithead. And, so his attorney says, not liking someone doesn't mean they committed murder.
Very fair.
Yes, that is very true. The DA has presented a list of people who do not like Michael Goodwin. That's not enough evidence. This is the part that got me. She got me with this because it's beautiful wording. When someone is murdered, it rips the fabric of all humanity, and all of us suffer, including Michael Goodwin. And I was like, did he though? Did he suffer?
Yeah, it sounded like he got a big debt forgiven.
Yeah. Here's another thing. I don't know. If you owe someone $700,000 and then you kill them, would any member of their estate be in line?
I'm imagining that all of that, yeah.
I don't know how it works. Is a lawsuit only the only payable person, the only person to get paid, the person who wins the lawsuit?
I think it would have to do with how you have your estate set up.
Yeah. Yeah, there's probably way more legalities than I'll ever figure out.
For
but
sure.
I feel like if your problem is eliminated, if you hire 2 men from the Caribbean that no one will ever, identify, who ride bikes to kill people,
Yeah.
and then you liquidate assets to buy a yacht and sail to the Caribbean, and you're on the run for 12 years, doesn't that make you look kind of shitty?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought so too, but maybe I'm wrong. So he appeals, he does everything he can. I mean, I'm telling you, this defense attorney, whatever he paid her, she was worth it. He was like, I'm fortunate. I have a support system, and his father supported him just like every day of his life. Went to every, hearing, pretrial hearing. Also, so did Mickey's sister, Colleen, who is as formidable as her brother. And Michael Goodwin, I don't think, knew what he was up against. It wasn't just the DA trying to prosecute him. It was Colleen Thompson trying to avenge her brother and sister-in-law's murder.
Oh, wow.
She was a tough cookie. But this attorney is like, just because you don't like him doesn't mean he did this. And this was as hard on him as anyone else. And it's like, I don't think so. So in 2007, he gets a second verdict of life without the possibility of parole for ordering the murders of Mickey Thompson and his wife, Trudy. Colleen Thompson Campbell, Mickey's sister, says, I think there's some people smiling in heaven. Mm-hmm. The verdict doesn't bring them back to us, but the proper thing has been done. Her son, Mickey's nephew, said, we knew it was Michael Goodwin the whole time. We've always thought that. I think that now, and obviously this time the jury thought so too, and I thank them. Right now, I'm just a really big fan of the justice system, and I think they did a great job.
Wow.
What was really shitty is neighbors saying Mickey was shot repeatedly, but he was shot once just so he could watch Trudy die, and then shot again after. Oh, I know. It's so... Yeah. I mean, that's like a level of cruel.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a level of cruel you can't. Yeah. So it had appearances on America's Most Wanted, Unsolved Murders, 48 Hours. I think it might have been 48 Hours that Mark and I saw it. It was like they focused on what happened in a short period of time. So that makes me think it was 48 Hours. It's such a weird case. And the defense attorney is like, look, we don't need a Hollywood version of this crime. This is a drama that is worthy of television. And, in a sense, she's right. And she said, jurors got stories peddled to them. Judges don't like him, but they couldn't stop what was said. And now we're seeing witnesses do the same thing. It's so heartbreaking. The whole damn thing is heartbreaking. You would want it to be more clear, but if you hire someone to kill people, how many steps back do they have to go to find that you're it was a lot of circumstantial evidence.
Sure.
But there's 2 pieces of evidence that came out. Sorry, what were you going to say?
Oh, I was just going to say, did they ever find the actual murderers, the guys who pulled the trigger? Okay.
And there's $1 million reward.
Okay.
They, in 2017, released new sketches.
Oh.
They're not great.
Okay.
But, they're probably better than what they were in 1988.
Sure.
Yeah, there's 2 pieces of evidence that are pretty interesting in my mind. The neighbor, Ronald Stevens, who said, I saw 2 men parked on the street, one with binoculars, just staring out, at Mickey and Trudy's house for days.
So weird.
That's that is a pretty good one. They even took jurors to see where Ronald Stevens said the car was parked. He was like, one person was blonde and one person had more reddish hair. Michael Goodwin has kind of brown hair, so I don't know. It's like maybe it wasn't blonde, maybe it was brown. So I don't know how old Ronald Stevens is, but he was a pretty big key witness in the state's case. And, yeah. So the star witness was Michael Goodwin's ex-girlfriend, Gail Hunter. They were living in Colorado in 1992 together. And she said he came into the room where she was watching TV, Unsolved Mysteries, and it was an episode about Mickey and Trudy. And he said, look what I've done and look what I got away with.
Oh.
So, of course, they tried to discount her testimony and say that, she had medical issues. I don't know if it was medical issues that would make you invent something like that. Apparently, when she heard that, she packed up and left.
Okay, that was it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. There's, when I say twists and turns, so there was a hitchhiker picked up not far from Mickey and Trudy's house. He failed 3 polygraph tests, but he was never charged. The DA finally decided not to pursue charges against him because a lot of people fail polygraph tests who do nothing.
Sure.
A lot of people pass them who do everything.
Right.
So, he was just like, like an itinerant dude who's walking and hitchhiking.
Right.
You can't blame a guy for being poor,
Right.
that he's a murderer. So Mickey Thompson was like the first person to drive 400 miles an hour in a piston-driven vehicle. He had promoted these off-road races like his whole life, and he met Michael Goodwin, who, they just clicked. Michael Goodwin is sort of known as the inventor of Supercross, where you race motorcycles on dirt tracks, like in a football stadium kind of thing. So they got together in 1984 to promote motorsports, and it, kind of blossomed and then quickly devolved into Michael owing him a lot of money, and he apparently Michael Goodwin was kind of stupid. He would sit in bars and say, I'll pay somebody to make Mickey Thompson dead.
Oh my God.
I know. It just...
I don't know how you find someone to commit a murder for you, but that doesn't seem like the best.
The best place. You start...
Just shout it.
Yeah, you start at the Ugly Mug, the bar around the corner when you're drunk. You've had too much loudmouth soup. I'll pay anybody who can make Mickey Thompson dead. And then you go to the Caribbean. Hey, you two guys who don't know how to drive a car, I got bicycles,
bikes,
and here's $20. Would you kill these people? Alrighty, thank you. Yeah.
You can keep the bikes.
You can keep the bikes. Can you braid my hair while you're here? Oh my God.
Yeah.
The cruelty of, Trudy's death is the thing that prosecutors are like, this is where Michael Goodwin signed his name. If you're paid to kill people, you would go boom, boom.
Sure.
You don't shoot her, so she dies, and then you shoot him, so he has to watch it, wait till she dies, and then kill her. You don't do that unless that is your instructions,
Right.
Yeah. So it's just, I can't even believe how long it took to have him arrested. He was the only suspect for all those years. He's, tracked down finally, extradited, arrested, indicted in Orange County, waits in prison over 2 years. is then overturned, immediately rearrested, indicted again, convicted in LA County, appeals. In 2015, he appealed it again and it was upheld.
Wow.
So life without parole. So this is the part that you have to dig and dig and dig and dig. In 1953, Mickey had been one of the originators of a off-road Baja race called La Carrera Panamericana in Mexico. And he apparently with off-road Baja racing, people stand as close as they can.
Oh, it's nuts.
It's like exciting to do that.
Oh, it's crazy nuts.
And even in 1953.
Yeah.
So a little girl runs on the track.
Oh, no.
Mickey swerves to avoid her, but hits a bunch of bystanders and kills 6 people.
Jeez. It
really was so hard to find this because he was so beloved, because he was so a proponent of safety features. Mm-hmm. He had a lot of patents on safety features and devices used for just regular cars as well as race cars. Mm-hmm. I mean, his whole life was this proponent for safety. And here he, makes a decision to go one way as opposed to, and it's like one was an accountant, one was a policeman, one was a city council person, and then 3 others were just private citizens. It just it's heartbreaking to think, what it's like to take 6 lives.
Yeah. Wow.
Not anything you planned, not anything you wanted to do. It just is, the whole damn thing is just, it really does like break your heart. But it's hard to find. You have to really dig and dig and dig to find it. I think really because he was so beloved, Yeah, and I totally get it. So recently, there's 2 new composites of the people who they believe killed Mickey and Trudy. They believe what happened is they fled to Pensacola, and then they were transported back to the Caribbean. There's $1 million reward leading to any arrest or conviction of these 2 murderers. If you have any information on what happened March 16th of 1988 to Mickey and Trudy Thompson, please call the LA County Sheriff's Department Homicide Unit 213-229-1700. And you can always call us at 832-847-7837. That's 832-Tipster. You can email us at jttipsters@gmail.com. You can find us on any of the social media platforms, the Just the Tipsters Facebook page, at JT Tipsters on Instagram, at JT Tipsters Pod on Twitter, and more cowbell.
If you would like to support this podcast and get early access and other cool murderous swag, go to patreon.com/justthetipsters.